This year, at the start of the year, I was sort of focusing on my career. And to do that, I had to go back to studying, basically. So I looked at going to study for a license that will allow me to be on bigger projects. So at the moment, I've been looking to work as a project manager. So I've worked on small projects, but the license will help me get in a bigger space. And so I also needed to fund this by myself. And so I was urgently searching for an average, like sort of an average job, as I didn't have a lot of money. Despite having my business and everything, I was very, very broke. And so I managed to get a job at a bakery restaurant where I would be serving food, and I would also be a cashier at one of their new big bakeries. And so this store has lots and lots of chains everywhere, so they're very, very popular. But a lot of black people and a lot of people may have not heard of it because they have a certain target audience, if you get what I'm saying. If you don't get what I'm saying, it's Oyibo people. So that's their target audience. And so when I first joined, I worked for about 2 weeks, and then all of us were trained to go join this big new restaurant. And so the manager said that I could be promoted if I worked hard. That's how she started. And she promised me that after 2 weeks, after the opening of the new store, that, she'll give me my training to be a barista or a baker. And I needed those skills for my business because me and my mom have a dessert restaurant. And so I thought, that will go very well with that if we were able to add coffee. In fact, I'm from Ivory Coast, so if you were to go back to Ivory Coast and get the chocolate over there and bring it over here, it's making sense. And so that's what I thought. And so I thought, okay, let me, work hard and get those skills and, get out of that place because that wasn't where I was planning to stay. And so during the 2 weeks, the manager actually came out of nowhere and even offered me a different role. It was a promotion. It was for a team leader role. And I said, yes. But then she said, don't worry, I'll give you some time to think about it. And I thought, but I already said yes. So what were we thinking about exactly? Well, okay. So then she said, no worries, I'll give you a few days to think about it. In those few days, she then hired 2 new team leaders. So it felt like a slap in my face. Because it was at a point where I was even teaching one of them because they were new. They didn't know what they were doing. So I was teaching them, and I was thinking, okay, let's see where this is going. One of them told me that they wouldn't even know what to do without me. And then my manager described the work of the other one as the worst she's ever seen in the hospitality business. I said, wow, okay. Of course, I'm reporting everything to God. And so I thought, no worries, that's not even the role I was looking for. I'm just looking for the barista baker thing. And so after 2 weeks had passed, I reminded my manager of her promise. And she told me, nah, you know what, let's wait another 2 weeks and we'll see if I can get you some training. I could see that she was clearly just stringing me along. And so I reported everything to God and I told him what I wanted. During that extra 2 weeks, the first new team leader that she hired got deported. And then the other one resigned, telling me that they were going back to their country. I thought, okay, I can see God's moving here. So then I thought, okay, in this period, let's see what God does as well, because I'm still looking for the skills. The 2 people she called to replace me have been, are gone now. My manager then, her mother then had a heart attack in India. So she said, guys, sorry, I have to suddenly go back to India for a few days to go visit my mother. And then in that same week, there was our barista, as in the top barista that was going to be the head of whatever, she resigned. I said, okay. So God even opened a new space there, because before there wasn't a space for me there. So then the day my manager came back, she told me, Emmanuel, I've actually just booked all your barista training for the following week, and I'm quitting today. And she left. And so as she left, at the end of that week, not only had I been promoted, my salary got increased, and I was able to get the skills that I wanted. So I thank God, and that's it.
Bro Emmanuel, one thing I didn't hear in your testimony that I need, because there's one thing that's sure. If we listen to our hymns and our teaching, our God is a God that speaks. He had maybe 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things that happened to him in a very small space of time. By every identification, we will assume that's God speaking, God working. But what I want to know, Emmanuel, come to the front. You're not done. There's still part 2. Don't worry. I want to know, what did God tell you on that journey? Or what did you hear from God? Because you came now and he said, this is the testimony God gave me. I want to know, what did God tell you along the lines, along that journey?
So, I knew it was God working because of the responses I'll get from the prayers I was making. So, of course, as I said at the beginning, I was very, very broke. So I needed a job. And so I asked God to give me a job. And so that's when because I applied for hundreds of jobs, and none of them were coming back to me. And I thought, but this should be easy. It's just a normal job I'm looking for. And so finally, when I had asked a job from God, this is when this company came out of nowhere and said, hey, we have this offer for you, blah, blah, blah. So then they gave me a trial shift. And so I went all the way to Clapham. This is very far from me. I know it's close for you. But I went all the way to Clapham for the trial shift. And I stood outside the door and I went, I can't do this. I can't wake up this early to come and do this job. So in that morning, I just turned around and I went home. And that's when I think I spoke to Bro Folliby and he told me that was very silly to do because you needed the money. So I don't know why you're doing that. And I said, fair enough. So I turned to God. And of course, I said to God, God, you know what? If it was you, if you give me this job back, I'll do it. I'll make sure I do it. And again, I kept on applying for other jobs. Nothing was working. And this same company reached out to me for the same role in a different store. And so that's how I knew that it was God guiding me on this journey. God wanted me to go down this route and gain these skills. So yeah.